All right, welcome. Today we're doing a bit of a micro-masterclass on what I think is a truly revolutionary method for getting teams up to speed fast. We're going to break down a framework and the tech behind it that lets you take pretty much any topic. I'm talking quantum computing, servant leadership, you name it, and really grasp the core ideas in less than 8 minutes. Now, this isn't just about a cool new tool. It's a whole new way of thinking, a philosophy for hacking the learning process itself. So let's get right into it. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll start with the why, the big learning problem we're all dealing with. Then the what, the AI tech that's a game changer here. After that, we get to the how, the actual TalkBox method you can use tomorrow. And we'll wrap up with the so what, how to turn all this into a permanent knowledge base for your team. So let's dive into Module 1. To really solve a problem, you have to diagnose it first. And the biggest issue for every single professional today is this paradox. We have an endless ocean of information, but only a tiny thimble of time. Our brains just aren't built for the constant fire hose of data from webinars, articles, and videos. It creates what's called cognitive overload, and that actually makes it harder to learn. So the challenge isn't finding information anymore. It's being able to filter it and actually absorb it. That's the problem we're here to solve. This slide really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the massive shift in thinking we need. The old model was all about long, passive consumption. Think hour-long webinars or slogging through dense textbooks. It was like a learning marathon. The new model, what we're calling rapid upskilling, is totally different. It's built for how our brains actually work today. It uses AI to turn these huge sources into these concentrated, 7-minute audio bursts. So we're moving from these long, draining marathons to short, high-intensity learning sprints. And neurologically, that's just way more effective for making memory stick. Okay, that brings us right into Module 2. Let's talk about the technology that actually makes this all possible. I want you to think of AI synthesis as more than just a summarizer. It's really the ultimate, intelligent filter for all the noise on the internet. Its one job is to find that crucial signal in all the static, doing all that heavy cognitive lifting for you. That way, you get to focus on the good part, understanding, not just sifting through endless information. So what does this tech actually create? Well, using a tool like Google's NotebookLM, you can generate something called an audio overview. And this is the really cool part. It's not some robotic voice just reading a summary back to you. No way. It's a custom-made 7 to 8 minute podcast-style conversation between two AI hosts. They actually discuss, clarify, and sometimes even debate the key points from whatever you fed them. That conversational format, that's the secret sauce. It feels like listening to people talk, which makes the whole learning process feel so much more natural and honestly more memorable. And the process to do this is, well, it's almost ridiculously simple. Step 1, you find a source you want to learn from. Say a long lecture on YouTube. You just copy the URL. Step 2, you paste that link into NotebookLM, and it gets to work, analyzing the transcript and synthesizing all that content. And then step 3, just a few minutes later, you get your custom audio overview. That's it. You've literally just distilled an hour of dense material into a super focused 8-minute masterclass. Which brings us to Module 3. Look, having a powerful tool is great, but knowing how to use it with your team, well, that's where the real magic happens. So now we get to the core of this whole thing, the TalkBox Method. This is a structured, high-energy exercise that's designed not just for individual learning, but for collaborative discovery and sharing knowledge really, really fast. Now this is how you kick it off with your team. You frame it just like this. You tell them you're not doing another boring training session. Nope, you're trying an experiment. You're going to hack the learning process. Using that kind of language is so important because it sparks curiosity right away. It lowers the stakes, removes the pressure, and it turns everyone from a reluctant trainee into a willing participant in an experiment. The whole TalkBox exercise plays out over these 5 distinct stages. You've got the draw, which is all about randomness and discovery. Then the hunt, which is this fun, timed challenge. The synthesis is where you let the AI do its thing. The immersion is for deep, focused listening. And finally, the presentation, which is where everything comes together, turning what one person learned into knowledge for the whole group. Let's just zoom in on stage 2 for a second, the hunt. After everyone draws a random topic, they have just 3 minutes. That's it, to find one high-quality YouTube video about it. Now, that time pressure is completely on purpose. It forces you to stop overthinking and just make a quick, intuitive decision. And think about it, being able to quickly find good, reliable information online, that's a critical skill all on its own. And this stage helps train that muscle. And what I love about this is just the sheer variety of topics you could end up with. That element of surprise is a huge part of the fun. One person could be digging into, say, the Pomodoro technique for productivity, while their colleague is suddenly trying to figure out the Great Emu War of 1932. I mean, how great is that? This kind of diversity keeps the whole thing fresh and constantly pushes people out of their normal comfort zones. It really builds mental agility. So for the final stages, the mission becomes laser-focused. During immersion, you listen to that 8-minute audio with one goal. Pull out one single, critical, actionable takeaway. Not 5 random facts, not a general summary, one core insight you could actually use. Then, in the presentation, you get just 2 minutes to explain that insight to everyone else. This quick cycle of distilling information and then immediately articulating it is proven to just skyrocket knowledge retention. All right, and that brings us to our final and maybe most important module. A fun, engaging exercise is great, but the effects can fade. The real power comes when you capture all the insights from these sessions and institutionalize that knowledge. This is how you go from a one-off activity to building a permanent living asset for your whole organization, what we call the team's brain. The key idea here is simple. Don't let the knowledge evaporate. After a TalkBox session, the air is just buzzing with these brilliant fragmented ideas. The biggest mistake you can make is to just let everyone go back to their desks and have all that great stuff just disappear. This next phase is all about deliberately capturing those individual sparks and weaving them together into a single, enduring flame of collective intelligence. And creating this team playbook is another simple 3-step process. First, you get everyone's single actionable takeaway into one shared document. Easy enough. Second, you create a brand new master notebook in NotebookLM and you upload that document as your single source. And third, you use the AI's chat feature to synthesize, organize, and find patterns in all of that raw human insight. This is where you basically become the conductor of an AI orchestra. Instead of spending hours manually sorting through dozens of notes, you just give the AI clear commands. Ask it to group the takeaways into themes. Tell it to pull out all the actionable advice and create a quick reference guide. You can even ask it to do a gap analysis and tell you what your team isn't learning about. You're directing the AI to build your playbook for you, turning all that raw data into structured wisdom. And the result of doing this over time? It's pretty extraordinary. You end up creating a living, searchable AI brain that holds the collective wisdom and the entire learning journey of your team. This thing becomes an amazing onboarding tool for new people, it helps break down knowledge silos between departments, and it's a constant source of reference for everyone. And it just keeps getting smarter with every TalkBox session you run. From there, you can export all this collective intelligence into 2 super powerful formats. First, you can create a formal written playbook, a PDF or an internal wiki page that you can share widely. But for a truly next-level move, you can hit Generate Audio Overview on your master notebook. The AI will then create a brand new podcast summarizing your own team's key learnings. How cool is that? It creates this powerful, closed-loop learning system. So we'll end on this thought. The barrier to deep, meaningful learning, it isn't time anymore. And it's not access to information. It's the method. With the right framework and the right tools, deep knowledge on basically any subject is really just a few minutes away. So the only question left is, what will your team master first?